Good morning. Happy Bloody Tuesday here as we get to go into a Tuesday with a crazy market sell off in the traditional markets. So let me quickly check on. Looks like people can hear me over there. Let me get a little. Yeah, so we'll get started. We'll talk about it. If anyone's here, maybe everyone's taking the day off. Can't say I blame them if they did. Today's maybe a day better not to look at your portfolio, but yeah, starting the day, man, the futures actually aren't as bad. Didn't open as bad. Of course, we're only into the market about 3 minutes, but we were literally looking. NASDAQ was looking to open -3%, and it's looking like 2.17. We'll see. We'll kind of let things settle in here, but right now, NASDAQ looking actually -2.2%. The Dow Jones -0.6. S&P -1.49. Few things out there that are happening. Welcome everyone listening live on what can be kind of a little bit of a scary Tuesday here. Taco Tuesday. Might have to wash those tacos down with tequila or go straight to the tequila. But anyway, a few things. We started to see that sell off yesterday in SpaceX. In the last 3 days, SpaceX lost like $1 trillion. Elon's lost over 300 million, like 152 million, 158 million yesterday alone. Dipped below $1 trillion, probably below $1 trillion right now as well. In fact, let's see. Man, we're just going to see more FUD from the SpaceX 152.87, down another 1.25% today. Elon's probably dropped below the $1 trillion. Hey, Mr. Heine, good morning. Taco Tuesday. Let's add some tequila to wash those tacos down if things don't get any better. But then we had the Korean stock market. There we go. Tequila Tuesday, straight for the tequila. Yeah, Korean stock market dropped 10% last night. Also, people are blaming it on the Bank of America coming out with that crazy prediction of 3 rate cuts, which I don't see at all. But they're way off. No one else even talking anything. There's like a 58% chance on the prediction markets of 2 rate cuts. But listen, today's one of those days that we're getting there. Bitcoin 62,328, down 4.5%. We look at the hourly, kind of jumped off the bottom of 62, back heading up a little bit. We'll see how the markets settle in. Sometimes there can be a little overreaction, but we'll see. But we're right there. Critically, we're right there at the 200-week moving average. Now you're probably hearing it, I'm hearing it, all kinds of talk about $50,000 Bitcoin, $40,000 Bitcoin. I've even heard, lower, but I don't start thinking about those lower levels, to be honest with you, until we break the 200-week moving average, which is around this level right here now, around 62, 62.3, 62.2, 62.5. I don't know exactly. I didn't check what it was this morning, but anyway, thanks for joining me on a pretty bloody Tuesday. Like I say, mostly a tech sell-off, huge sell-off in the Korean markets, and that's what seems to be causing this. Obviously, people reacting poorly to Bank of America's 3 rate cuts, and it also can be the markets are very, very, very high right now. Could just be probably a needed correction. Let's go back and see. Yeah, a little better. Like I say, better than hoped for, better than was looking. We were literally, futures were literally down 3%. Looks like right now, 7 minutes into it, the NASDAQ around a little over 2% down. But yeah, can be scary times. Once again, I'm watching this. And not only where do we dip below, where do we close below, and how does the rest of the week pan out? When I first woke up and looked at the market, I thought there must be more trouble in Iran. But actually, if you look at it, look here, oil is actually down 0.75%. So oil's actually down. So there's actually better news coming today. We'll cover some of that. And a big news day today. Good news overall, to be honest with you. A lot of good stuff happening. And listen, when you zoom out, everything's looks great long term. It's just as short term can be bumpy and volatile. And today is definitely a pretty major correction. We'll see how it plays out 8 hours in. Let's see how the next hour or two and how the day and how the week plays out. But even if we, like I say, Bitcoin, if it can hold that 200-week moving average for the closes, then I'm not feeling too, we know we're in a bear trend, but I'm not feeling too terrible if that happens. If we can improve on it, great. But SPX, yeah, down. Now it's going down even more. Man, I talked about shorting it at 212. I wish I had. I do expect a pullback when you get these really exciting ICOs or IPOs, international public offerings. Historically, all the big ones we've seen in the first year about a mean or an average about 55% pullbacks. So I did expect it to pull back, not quite so soon, to be honest with you. I did talk about shorting it at 212. But yeah, now it's down another 2.8%, struggling to hold 150. Of course, let's not forget it opened at 135. So we're still up $15 right now of where it opened. But yeah, massive amounts of money, wealth leaving. Elon dropped below $1 trillion net value or personal worth. He's probably below that again, I would say, since we're even dropping. And of course, we're going to see more pressure. Hey, Scott, happy Tuesday. Good show today, Scott. Crazy. I was in and out. Consciousness. I did 4 hours working out yesterday. I did 2 hours working out, about 13 miles on the stationary bike, and lifted some weights while I watched that Argentina game. Watched a little history as Messi scored 2 goals, became the leading scorer of all time, that first goal. And then I did over about a 2.5 hour hike late last night. Came back, grabbed some watermelon, some cherries, and didn't get to sleep till about 1 o'clock, which I get up at 4:30. So I was a little in and out of consciousness this morning, only to find out massive red day. But yeah, we got the Korean sell-off. We've got tech sell-off, got the SpaceX sell-off, and we have the Bank of America's calling for 3 rate cuts, which I don't put any stock in personally. But yeah, so STRC, a lot of FUD we've talked about with Saylor. Yesterday he came back, put aside another $300 million for the pay the dividends, but it's off a peg of $100 down to 87.70. So, and then man, now we're seeing SpaceX 147.14 down almost 5% since the market opened. So yeah, NASDAQ 1.93, Dow 0.6, 1.39. Check back on Bitcoin. I haven't even checked the other ones yet, but just checking the hourly chart here on Bitcoin. Yeah, here's the daily, of course, down 4.4%. But Ethereum, welcome everyone that's listening live. By the way, I know there's kind of panic in the streets. These kinds can always be scary. First thing you need to do is remain calm and yeah, don't panic. I mean, Bitcoin's still going to $1 million. Is it going to go to 50 before it goes to 1 million or 100? Maybe. Could it drop into high 40s? Possibly, right? Anything's possible. But it's also possible that we're at or near a bottom, closer to a bottom than maybe a lot of the bears think. So hard to say. MicroStrategies, STRC is not going to implode. Quantum computing isn't going to crack Bitcoin. So step one, remain calm. It does suck. It's nice if you have some extra money. Around this 200-week moving average on Bitcoin is where, most people say it's for sure in the buy zone, right? At least the beginning of the buy zone. It can also mark a bottom. And we've only dropped below it, I think, 5 times It always marks the bottom, and we usually drop below it a little bit, but only one time, I think 2022, 2023, did we stay under it for about 8 months. But normally, getting there, we may see it. We may, like I say, we could go lower, but it doesn't matter. We're gonna pop back. Nothing fundamentally has changed. The world's gotten to be a worse place. There's more money printing, everything. So, yeah, great buys, Coach Master. It is great buys on everything. Let's look at the bubbles, man. VVV, we've been seeing that go up. It's down 15%. World coin down 10.6%. Pepe 5.6. Pepe market cap 1.1 billion. Man, good time to buy. Ondo, we see all of the stuff that's happening with that Arrow, they're getting ready to do their new chain. Arrow, a lot of good talk about Arrow. Render 7.9, Hyperliquid 8.7, Fetch AI, Aave, ETH, Jupiter, XRP. Wow. Yeah, a lot of good buys. Pump Fun, if you like them. A lot of people don't, but man, I mean, how do you not like Ondo and Pepe and Jupiter and a lot of these things at the SUI, a lot of things you've been looking at. Let's see what excuse me. Let's look at what Hype's at. Where's Hype? I saw it there somewhere. There we go. Hype, $63. So Hyperliquid, they're also a chain. So yeah, a lot of good buys, no question. If you have money to buy, otherwise you just have to hold on. And sometimes the thing is just don't sit and look at your portfolio. Those are unrealized losses if you're seeing them. Could it get worse? Yeah, we at Max Payne. What's interesting, looking at the Fear and Greed, it's only at 23. It's actually up like 5 points from yesterday. That's kind of surprising, but that could change with the market opening today. But look at the other things. XRP, $1.10, down almost 5%, 4.9%. And Solana absolutely getting poleaxed here, 68.98, down 7.7%. Obviously, Solana coins are getting clobbered as well. But I'll be honest with you, I don't know if I've ever been more bullish on Solana. People are starting to wake up to what I've been saying for a couple of years now. So much stuff happening over on Solana, right? So much adoption. Now, I think I mentioned yesterday, I'm a little more bullish than I have been about Ethereum because Ethereum has a lot of, now it's not going to be they're probably losing ground to some of these other chains, but overall tokenization, adoption, stablecoin, that's all growing. Quantum 52 says books being rebalanced ahead of end of Q2 quarter. Absolutely. That's why they say sell in May and walk away, right? Also, we know the stock market's overvalued or not overvalued, but definitely at peak. So once again, more reason to buy Bitcoin, like I've been saying. Same with the AI, same with the SpaceX. There was a lot of hype there, but how quickly it rebounds, right? Look at SpaceX, man, down still almost 5%. Let's pull that chart up. Yeah, this is why I think it's a good time to be buying Bitcoin and stuff. Now, listen, a lot of people can't. I get that, and that's okay. You just have to, what you don't want to do is panic and wind up buying your Bitcoin back at higher levels, even if it goes lower from here. If you're newer here, you're actually really scared, then you just don't really understand what you're holding here. You just don't really understand Bitcoin. It's made for countries irresponsibly printing money. So the thesis for Bitcoin's getting better. Here's SpaceX. But yeah, that's, man, quite a drop. I would have been killing it if I had shorted at 212 like I talked about. But anyway, I will become a buyer of SpaceX at some point. But like I say, I am expecting it possibly to dip below $100. We'll see. I don't know when or how or whatever. We'll see. But you get a lot of exuberance, a lot of excitement, but also how fast does the money shift? We talk about capital sector rotation, right? And then we're already seeing it when everyone was going crazy over SpaceX. Same as a few months ago when people were going crazy over gold. This is a great time to buy Bitcoin, which is underappreciated, undervalued. Great time, in my opinion, to buy a MSTR, or probably if I had to just choose one, I'd probably just choose Bitcoin. But I don't believe that there's much risk. I would even be a buyer at STRC at this point. Amongst all the FUD, I think it's unjustified and a little bit of people looking to grab headlines. But anyway, we'll come back. Quantum 5652 says, I looked at the unlock schedule for SpaceX. It's scary. Where's the buy pressure going to come from? It's got so many unlocks from August onward. Absolutely. There's only like 6% floating, and there's a lot unlocks in August. That's probably how you get to your minus 100, maybe even the 55% pullback that we historically see off these huge giant tech IPOs. Hey, Artie, GM, all my friends, we've got Mr. Heine, the head of the Heine community, Scott, runs all their shows, also helps me on the GM show. We've got Quantum, we've got Artie, all good friends from X, joining me on YouTube, help me get my YouTube channel off the ground. Appreciate it. But yeah, this is a lot of people today on X. I know a lot of people are probably scared, and these aren't great times. I mean, we'd rather be celebrating, obviously, but there is a lot of good news we'll go over here. But yeah, we'll check back here. But NASDAQ 163, so getting a little bit better. SpaceX even SpaceX even bottomed out here at down 5%, and it's coming back a little. So sometimes you'll see this. NASDAQ also rebounding a little bit. Let's check Bitcoin. We'll check Bitcoin on the hourly. Yeah, a little bit of off the lows. We'll see where they go. But yeah, just don't panic. Buy if you can. Get ready to buy it lower, maybe. But we're right at that 200-week moving average. This could be the bottom. Maybe not. If not, we probably drop into the mid 50s, 53, I think, is the realized, which is the average price everyone's paid. I'll tell you one thing. Long-term holders are accumulating at a crazy rate. People who've held Bitcoin for a long time, kind of these long-term wallets, have been buying here when everyone else panic selling. So fear and greed, I'm surprised it's at 23, to be honest with you. But I think it'll probably be lower if it doesn't change. President Trump, when I looked at this, I thought, must be some crap going on over there in Iran. But no, President Trump said 19 million barrels of oil flowed out of the Straits, an all-time record. We've got Trump saying Iran has fully and completely agreed to the highest level nuclear inspections long in the future. And yet, if they do not agree to this, there would be no further. Iran, of course, says that they haven't agreed. We'll see. But yeah, overall, I mean, if you look here, the first thing I looked at was oil to see, right? I thought, and that's how you can't believe any of the propaganda coming out from those negotiations or anything like that. But anyway, oil's actually down today, so not going to sit here and wait for it to pop up. But oil's actually down. And here people, Elon poor as F, Heinecoin, did Gary Cardone really get hacked? I don't know. I saw he was sending out DM and some drainer links, unless it was a different account. I haven't heard either way. I haven't seen anything on the timeline. And I know Gary did have some problem with his account, and he opened an alternate account, and I was following him there. He was following me, but yeah, I don't know. But I did see a bunch of back and forth on the timeline that people got drainer links, but I don't know. But anyway, Elon, man, down down literally below $1 trillion, dipped below $1 trillion net worth, down I think 152 billion yesterday. I think 300 billion in the last 3 days. About $1 trillion shed off of SpaceX. So the Senate passed the banning the law banning CBDCs through 2030. That was officially passed in the Senate. Good news for XRP and Ripple here. They gained major EU crypto license and near full MiCA compliance for them and their stablecoin. That's huge because on the 29th of June, all that kicks in. If you don't have full MiCA, you're going to be cut off. See a lot of people joining us today. Listen, Korea, huge tech sell-off. See a sell-off in SpaceX. We see Bank of America coming out there and saying that we're going to have 3 rate hikes. I don't know. But yeah, it's not as bad as it was earlier, but still not a time for mass panic, in my opinion. A lot of good news. That's good for if you like XRP and Ripple, which is on sale with everything else today. I don't feel like we're at max pain. We could be near a bottom, but I mean, I know people are scared, especially if you're new. If you've been here a while, this probably doesn't scare you. We get down towards 50,000, then sub 50, yeah, I think you'll see some people really panicking. Hopefully, if you're listening to me, though, you're not panicking. You're just realizing this is what it is. We're still holding the 200-week moving average. We lose that, then I think we definitely go lower. SBI Group, big Japanese group, 215 billion. I don't know if that's yen, probably yen, but they're set to launch a regulated stable coin based on the yen this week. I think that'll be big. Yeah, this was it. Korea's Kospi crashed 10% one day after hitting record highs. Keep that in mind. We're at record levels, so a pullback is not unexpected, not even maybe it's considered healthy. Also today we got 50 crypto industry leaders meeting with senators to urge this passage of the Bitcoin crypto structure bill. I think they take a week off after Friday, and then I think they come back for a couple weeks and they're off for like a month. So got to get past a little less than 50-50 on call sheet right now. But yeah, this kind of needs to be passed. Trump needs it to happen so people want to buy these stable coins. We already see yen-based stable coins and other stuff. A lot of good news for Solana. 1.8 trillion euro all funds is expanding tokenized funds to Solana. I mean, we're going to see trillions and trillions come on here into this RWA and tokenization. A lot of it making its way towards Solana. Yeah, this is what we said. I don't... Yeah, Quantum 5652 says, I have a feeling the real capitulation event will be considerably harsher than this. Yeah, this is not good, but we're not feeling that like you'd literally want to throw up. Listen, here's the problem. For newer people, they panic and they really think maybe Bitcoin's, going to zero or whatever. They panic and they're affected the worst. And that's kind of, I hate to say, it's kind of what the market and the big boys want. They want to shake you out of your Bitcoin. Don't let them do it. But yeah, I've been here 15 years. When the lower you get, the less options you have, right? Right now, if you need money for something or you want money for something, you don't want to sell anything. We're down bad so much on everything, right? So this is a situation where, yeah, a true bottom, and it may only last short-lived, may only last a day or a week or two or whatever, but the real bottom, I mean, it can get real scary. So I agree with you, 5652. I don't believe that, I'm not feeling that max pain, like horrible, literally just like, wish you're never in crypto kind of despair and sickness right now. So that could be it. And it could be quick, but like I say, I don't start worrying about that till we're clearly below the 200-week moving average. We're right there. So, we could certainly teeter down. It's feeling like that. The more time you test these bottoms, the more pretty soon you're going to break, or tops otherwise. So, yeah, doesn't feel like max pain right now, but it's not feeling good nonetheless. Couple more things and we'll call it a day. And you're welcome to join us over on the GM Morning Show. Oracle cutting 21,000 jobs, citing AI adoption and credit risk, flashing GFC era highs. So there's still some weakness in the economy, no question. No question. BlackRock says they likely see a renewal in upward price around midterm. The more fear there is over risk of money printing is ultimately the most important fundamental driver. Yeah. What makes Bitcoin tick and go up is just that hasn't changed at all. Now, this 118-year-old UK firm called Bailey Gifford, they just built a fully native tokenized fund. Okay, everything like fully native, not like tokenized or anything, fully on-chain fund, and it's going to be on Solana. A lot of good news coming out on Solana, to be honest with you. Let's take one more look at the market. Like I say, NASDAQ down 1.4, Dow down 0.3, S&P 0.5, Bitcoin 62, 450, 437, so going up a little bit of hope. But listen, the main thing I'm going to say, don't panic. I'll be back tomorrow talking about it. Could be a bad week, could be a long week, or we could pop back. Like I say, if we clearly close well below 62, below 60, whatever, then I'm going to say we probably go lower. Always keep that possibility. It could happen. It could be violent. But other than that, yeah, good day to maybe focus on other things. I'm hitting the gym right after my next show. Feel free to join us over there. Join the discussion, but not a good day by any things, but also not the end of the world. Buy if you can, hold if you can't.